All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call I'm La, Alahainawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Harakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone, and a hearty Shalom to the elect. All right, it's your brother Karate out back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. And this lesson is stemmed from a news, something I saw on social media in regards to China and the United States, okay? All right, this is Jeremiah 50:22. It says, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. All right, a sound of battle is going on throughout the whole world. You have instances where people are what they call now music festivals, okay, instead of the P word, going on throughout the globe, all right, because people are tired of their governments, okay, so they're having music festivals, okay. Then you have, the National Guard going into certain places and the active duty Marines in certain places, and I seen an article, I did a lesson on it the other day, where the 82nd Airborne Division is going to be, potentially, they're going to go to Portland, Oregon, all right, because of the music festivals that's happening over there, okay? And you got a lot of stuff going on, okay, where individuals are uprising against their leadership, okay? And this is great, okay? So this is Jeremiah 50:23. It says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? All right, how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right, first of all, Babylon has become a desolation amongst the nations because of its political aspects, all right, its political agendas, okay? But let's look up this word, hammer, okay?
Strong's H 6360. Patish.
All right, and down here in the Hebrew lexicon, it says the hammer, i.e. devastator, okay? And we're going to look up what devastator is. It's not a toy. All right, devastator is someone or something that causes great destruction, lays waste to a place, or overwhelms others with grief. The term is derived from the verb devastate, which comes from the Latin devastare, meaning to lay waste. All right. Key aspects of the definition: literal destruction, emotional overwhelm, agent of destruction. And that's all what Esau is, man. Okay. Literal destruction, it says, this refers to the physical destruction of a place, of things or places, like natural disasters or invading army laying waste to a city. Emotional overwhelm, it can also describe something or someone that causes intense emotional or mental stress, such as devastating news. Agent of destruction. A devastator is an active agent, the person, thing, or force that performs the act of destruction or overwhelming. That's what Esau Edom is, okay? All right. But let's keep going. All right. Let's keep going. Verse 24, it says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. All right, that snare, that one of the snares that the Lord has laid for Esau Edom is pride, okay? Because pride is what brings forth down destruction on people. Go read Daniel, the 4th chapter, and see what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. The Lord humbled his ass, okay? Like the Lord is about to humble Babylon, okay? And all you damn Edomites, all right? And these other nations. Jeremiah 50:25, it says, Yahweh hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of Yahweh of hosts. Yahweh power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Okay. Verse 26, it says, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be left. I'm going to read that in the NLT. It says, yes, come against her from distant lands. China is a distant land. Break open her granaries, crush her walls and houses into heaps of rubble. Destroy her completely. Leave nothing. That's what's going to happen when these nuclear missiles hit, okay? All right, let's go to this right here.
I had a dream.
China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot. China will never allow the United States to launch a war against China, conventional or nuclear, without suffering devastating consequences. If you have not watched the...
There goes that word devastating. All right, to devastate is to cause overwhelming suffering. All right, to lay waste to things. Okay, things like I just said, read in that definition.
Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd. One of the weapons China demonstrated, we call it 61, because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson. If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war. This is very serious.
All right, and that's what's coming. All right, that is what's coming. The Lord is going to allow these nations to destroy America, okay? This is Jeremiah. I think it's 51. No, it might be 50. Let's see. All right, I'm going to start at Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and come up against Babylon and an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. All right. I read it in the NLT. It says, for I am raising up an army of great nations from the north. They will join forces to attack Babylon, and she will be captured. The enemy's arrows will go straight to the mark. They will not miss. All right. Reminds me of Joel, the 2nd chapter. All right. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But this is talking about nuclear missiles. All right. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 6. And he says something in his video. Let me see.
China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted.
See, right there, this missile that they have cannot be intercepted, but most importantly, to understand it from a spiritual aspect, the Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these, okay? All right? So, it's talking about the nuclear missiles. All right, I'm going to get straight to the point. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march everyone on his way, and they shall not break their ranks. All right, a missile interception, a missile destruction system can cause missiles to separate, or let's say like when I was in Iraq, when there was incoming coming to the base from IDF, was indirect fire. The there was a gun that would shoot down the missile, all right, or shoot down the indirect fire, and if it was more than one, it would cause a separation between those targets, that IDF, okay, because it would most likely hit one before it would stop one before it stopped the other, okay. Well, in this case, no missile defense system is going to stop the spirit of the Lord that's going to be on these missiles, okay. It says here, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run, and they shall run to and fro in the city. They shall be they shall be upon the wall, and they shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter in at the window like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, and the sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible. Who can abide in it? Nobody. All right, you see what they talking about here.
Of being intercepted.
No possibility of these missiles being intercepted.
I hope Washington has learned the lesson. If you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war.
And America is going to be wiped out by nuclear war, okay? All right, I just read to you Joel 2:7 on down. Okay, let's look at this China's nuclear 61, as he said. All right, it says China's nuclear 61 refers to the Dongfeng 61, an intercontinental ballistic missile that China publicly displayed for the first time at the 2025 China Victory Day Parade. The missile was part of China's significant modernization and buildup of its nuclear force, which has involved developing systems and increasing its nuclear warhead stockpile. All right, it says here, new ICBM, the DF61 is a newly developed ICBM. It was displayed. All right, let's see what Wikipedia says. All right, here goes a picture of it. I want to just see what it says. Like the man said, it has one hydrogen bomb. All right, so here it goes. According to the Guardian, 4 DF61 launchers were paraded, each mounted on the 16-wheel mobile transporter erector launcher. Western analysis described the system as the main surprise of the parade, with its estimated range of 7,500 miles, sufficient to reach D.C. from Beijing. Defense experts in Taiwan describe the DF61 as an instrument of political denial, citing its potential to carry nuclear warheads intended to deter foreign intervention, particularly the event of a cross-strait conflict. All right, let's see. All right, it says some observers suggested it could have been the rumored conventional ICBM. All right, let's see. It's not really saying much, but you heard it from the horse's mouth, man. Okay, it's an intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, it says intercontinental ballistic missiles with a range of greater than 5,000 kilometers, 3,400 miles. All right, primarily designated for nuclear weapon delivery, delivering one or more thermonuclear warheads. All right, conventional, chemical, and biological weapons can also be delivered with varying effectiveness, but have never been deployed on ICBMs. All right. Well, I think that hydrogen bomb is a chemical weapon. Okay. All right, and he said they got him in his arsenal, attached to this 61 missile.
Consequences. If you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated, we call it 61 because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb?
America's on the verge of being destroyed inside and out. Okay, just keep your eyes peeled, man. Lord willing, edifying to the next time. Shalom.